So one thing we're going to ask everybody to do, Victoria, if you could make sure this happens, is to tell us where you're joining us from. Hi, Sandro. I know where you're joining us from. At least I think you're in Ottawa, unless you're somewhere else at the moment. Okay, there you go. So we have a lot of people coming to us from Ottawa. I don't know, Miles. You got to tell me the name of your town. I don't know.
Oh, I'm in Fonthill, so just kind of west of Niagara Falls area.
All right, so please share where you're from. Port Colborne, I know where that is. Hamilton, definitely. Hi, Catherine, welcome. Welcome. All right, so I am going to share my screen and get this baby started. And listen, this is not a presentation, at least not from my perspective. It's more of an interactive discussion. What we are going to do here, is take about 40 to 50 minutes to introduce some concepts to you, introduce our partners, and introduce those of us that are going to have breakout rooms. Then we're going to have breakout rooms for about the same amount of time. You can stay in the breakout room as long as you want. You can change breakout rooms. Victoria, my wonderful social media and branding expert, is going to help with all of that. And if you have questions, stick them in the chat. I can't promise they're going to be answered immediately. I also can't promise that if you have legal questions, I'm going to answer them at all, because I'm not allowed to in this general forum. But please feel free to interact. Speak to each other, communicate, tell us where you're from, open your mic if you have something to say, don't be shy. And if I forget to introduce you, then please say, Lauren, I'm here. So, that's how this is. And everybody can see that I'm wearing my Blue Jays shirt, just to let everybody know I'm a diehard Blue Jays fan, and so is my kid. I just posted in one of the groups, a Blue Jays group, they were saying it's what, 9 days, something to opening day, right? And my son is going to the home opener on the 11th of April. So he is very excited. I did not push him to be a Blue Jays fan. It just kind of happened. So I'm very proud about that. But he's very excited. He loves baseball. I am at a baseball park almost every single day because he plays on 3 teams. So there you go. So thank you for joining us today. Aurelia, I grew up in Thornhill. I know Aurelia, Sarasota, I'm in Massachusetts. Cool, nice, hi, okay. So we're going to get started. Today's event is a U.S. real estate investing mastermind, exploring opportunities to invest in the U.S. with the right professionals and partners. Now, we are only featuring some of our partners. We have many more. And we're going to continue to do these. We're going to build it into a formal mastermind. We're going to do one more free event, probably in May. But Miri, my trusty COO, is at, I don't know where she is, Gatorland today? I don't know, whatever. Gatorland, I would have chosen to be here over Gatorland, but that's me. But she's in Gatorland today with her kids who are off for spring break. And so Victoria and Raymond are picking up her slack, and nicely so. So thank you for joining us again. Now let's make sure this is all working. Disclaimer, of course, I am a lawyer, so I have to make this disclaimer. Oh, good. We have like 50 people already here, so that's awesome. All work product produced by us or any of our affiliates is dependent on the information provided by you, and everything that we're sharing today is not legal advice. It's not professional advice. It's just general guidance, okay? If you want legal or professional advice, you'll have to set up a consultation with us and speak with us directly. I'm not even allowed to give that on here. So if you feel that I'm avoiding questions, I probably am, because I have to. So please understand that that's just my obligation as an attorney, both in Ontario and in the US. Please have your cameras on. By the way, I have voice issues, so I'm just warning you ahead of time. If I end up not being able to talk, I might ask, even though she doesn't know this yet, she's smiling, she knows who I'm talking to, my trusty partner, Carolyn, to come in and step in and take over, because if my voice fails, there's not much I can do. So, and I'm going to introduce her in just a few minutes, but have your cameras on, ask questions, and take notes, because at the end of the day, you're not going to remember everything. And yes, the recording will be sent to you, okay? Raymond will be editing the recording, and usually you'll get it. Well, today is Thursday, so you may not get the recording until Monday, just because we usually do these on Wednesday and send them out Friday. So now it's time for me to introduce my partners that are here today, and I'm super excited to introduce each of them for different reasons on every level. So Mike and Leanne, are you here? Can you guys come up on screen? They're traveling. They just arrived back in, I don't know which airports. I think somewhere in Michigan, right?
Yeah. Can you see me okay?
I can't, but that's because I can only see a few people on the screen. Now I see you. Hi.
Okay. So I apologize. I'm in my travel gear. We literally just got home from our short-term rental house in Florida. We were down there this time with
This is their
7
house
friends.
in Florida. Just saying, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful, amazing home in Davenport. We'll show you some listings in the Davenport area soon. And I'll just introduce Mike and his wife Leanne, who's usually on camera with him, but she's probably picking up luggage or something. I don't know. It's probably making her do all the grunt work, right?
Yeah. I said, I'll take the call.
See?
And
I know
yeah,
the
I said,
drill.
you can go get the car park.
There you go. There you go. So they're Canadians investing in both Canada and the US. I've known them for probably about the same amount of time, maybe four years or so. Licensed mortgage agents in Canada, connections with lenders in the US. They coach clients on mortgages as well as investing, and they own 3 properties in Ontario, 4 in Michigan, and 1 so far in Florida, but about to be more. They've been investing since 2017. And the reason they started investing, which they'll share in their breakout room, is because of some job issues, which is what forces a lot of people's hands to start looking for other alternatives. So Mike, you want to just say hi quickly and introduce yourself and Leanne?
Yeah. So I just stepped outside because I thought I'd get better reception, but got a little bit choppy. So yeah. So can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
So Leanne and I, we're a power team. We're husband and wife. We do our real estate investing together. We're both licensed mortgage agents in Ontario, actually all of Canada. We have clients right across Canada. We started our journey in 2017 into the real estate world, where I think Lauren quickly mentioned, I had a job. I thought it was the world's greatest job in 2014. I went to a meeting at an airport and I was handed a brown envelope and said, hey, we no longer need you. Here's a little package for you. Good luck. So that was kind of our turning point, where it was like, we're not going to allow, somebody to control our lives. So we started doing a bunch of, self-improvement, learning, training, learning from others, and, the power of learning from others. And that's when we finally got into real estate investing in 2017. Funny story is we closed our first fourplex. I bugged Leanne for 20 years. She finally said, yes, we closed on our property. A month later, she went through the same. She went through a job restructure, and everybody was kind of like, oh my God, what are you going to do now? And we're like, it's the best thing ever. We're now cash flowing $1,500 a month. So it was good that we got that. And we realized soon after, we wanted to buy another one 6 months later, hit all the traditional roadblocks. Again, learned about, OPM, using creative financing, things like that. We're able to close 2 single-family homes in Ontario shortly thereafter, 4 single-family homes in Detroit, Michigan. We were growing a portfolio there. Then we stumbled across short-term rentals in Florida, which really drew us in. All of our other ones were, done on a spreadsheet, making sure that they made sense. Then we discovered short-term rentals, and we thought, hey, we would love to spend more time in Florida. We love Ontario in the summertime, spring and summer. We really don't like Ontario in the wintertime. So, the next few years, we want to explore spending more and more time in the US. We've had visa conversations with Lauren, but I was lucky to get my social security number through my family heritage. And we still enjoy living in Canada in the summertime. So we really want to be able to spend way more time in Florida in the cold months. So short-term rental really appealed to us. In 2022, we went to Florida 5 times, used our house. In 2023, we've used our host twice now. We took down 11 family members last week of January, beginning of February, and this time we were able to bring down 7 friends of ours to enjoy that host. That host generates income for us, and at the same time, we can enjoy, bringing friends and family down there and generate income from it. So we're still we help a lot of clients. We're well vested in real estate investment groups. So as mortgage agents, we help a lot of real estate investors, pull equity in their properties in Canada to buy in the US. And that's where there's other lending partners on here that will help you get, mortgages in the US. We help clients get down payments for properties from their Canadian, or if they want to build a business in the US, you always want to make sure that you first have all your mortgage stuff in order in Canada before you jump into the US. So that's what we help a lot of clients with.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, cool. All right, so now we will move right along to our next partner, my dear friend, Carolyn. So I'm gonna let Carolyn introduce herself rather than me introducing her, because she speaks regularly, and she and I'll just say that she and I met apparently 3 years ago. Somehow I thought it was 2, but it's 3, right at the beginning of COVID, through Mike Wolf, a very successful US real estate investor out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, which is where Carolyn lives. But she travels even more than 90% of us. She's an amazing partner, and we developed strategic REI a year ago in my living room when she was staying with me here in Florida. And we've been on a wonderful journey ever since. And so I'm going to let Carolyn introduce herself and share a bit about her, please.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you so much for having me. Like you said, it's been such a great adventure since we took this idea to life, and I have really enjoyed working with our clients at SREI because prior to that I do have another coaching platform that I had started before I had met Lauren, but because of the joy that I get from working with these clients at SREI, I have actually stopped one-on-one coaching through my own platform and just focus on SREI for any type of one-on-one coaching. And it has been a lot of fun, especially because when I first started my real estate journey back in 2015, I had gone into the US market. I was buying duplexes, fourplexes in Columbus, Ohio, looking to build a significant portfolio there, and came across a lot of challenges, especially when it came to understanding how to create the proper corporate structure, how to have ourselves set up properly on the accounting side and the tax perspective. And quite honestly, the challenges became so much, and the barriers continued to come forward, that I ended up walking away from that business, and I let the other 2 partners that were on the ground there continue with that. So when I met Lauren, I remember feeling so extremely excited because I thought I should have met you way back then when I was trying to build my portfolio. But
yes, but then we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, would we?
Exactly. That's
so
right.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Oh, 100%. I definitely do not regret any of this journey that I've been on, because now we get to do it bigger and better, and I get to be involved in some projects around
Fun
the world.
stuff.
Yes, exactly. And
we're going to present one of those projects, Carolyn. I don't think you know. Well, you may have seen the slides, but we're going to talk about the salad project a little bit.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, exciting.
Yeah.
So my journey in real estate has evolved significantly, and as Lauren said, Calgary is my home base, but I am blessed to be able to travel internationally quite a bit because of the work that I do. And in 2019, I partnered with a really good friend of mine, but also had been my business partner on another venture. After I left the US market, we were looking to build co-working spaces across Canada and the US. That didn't pan out because the higher powers were saying we had something greater to do. And so I partnered with him in 2019. He had created a financial services company, and I came in on the real estate side, and we started to build a really nice portfolio in Canada of properties that we acquired through agreement for sale, which, if you're American, they're subject to in the US, and it's leveraging other people's mortgages. And then we turned all of that portfolio into rent-to-own properties, and found great success in that. But of course, based on what I knew I was meant to be doing here on this planet, it never seemed like that was enough, that it wasn't big enough impact, and that there was more that we needed to do. So we started to evolve in the beginning of 2020. 2019, we had already started doing some development projects in Mexico, in Los Cabos, looking to do eco builds. And then that came to a pause unfortunately, in early 2021, as our partner on the ground there unfortunately had a stroke. But as I said before, everything happens for a reason, and just not being focused on that opened up the doors to looking at projects in other parts of the world. Where could we also go and do these type of eco developments that answer questions or issues around food sustainability, around connectivity, around alternative power sources that are good for the environment and affordable for the people? How can we implement affordable housing into our projects? And so with that, we have evolved quite quickly in the last 2.5 years. And as I mentioned before, our projects are now located internationally. So we just we have property under contract in Italy. We have a project in the British Virgin Islands, in Jamaica, in Guyana. We're in early stages there, in Canada, and starting some projects now in the US with some of our strategic partners. And like I said, just very grateful for this place that we are at, where we have this opportunity to go and help communities around the world with things that they need, and do good things and be profitable, because our bottom line for everything that we do at Cardia is they have to be self-sustaining financially so that the projects can continue to grow and serve the community long term. So these are not charity projects, they are profitable, but that's the beauty of what we get to do, is we get to bring all these different elements that help support the profitability of what we're doing. So as I said before, I'm grateful for this opportunity and what I get to do with Lauren and the individuals and the families that we work with, because for me, it really is this opportunity of walking alongside of these individuals and families in meeting their goals of getting a visa and building a real estate portfolio in the US. So it has been a lot of fun, and I'm excited for.
And continues to be. And
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to a great future of building and scaling this in many levels. So next up, and certainly not least, is, well, Josh, I don't pronounce your name right, Polikow? And you're muted, Josh.
Polikow, you nailed it. Yes, that's correct.
Good. And Alana Katz. Alana and Josh just recently got their visa. They were our first strategic REI visa beneficiary in October. And Josh is a master plumber in Canada, and has really taken a hold of the whole process of rebuilding and renovating properties to the point where they literally look nothing like how they started when they first bought into these properties. They actually worked on one of the properties with one of my strategic investors, strategic partners, Sandra Schlaupitz. Are you here, Sandra? I know she was trying to change an appointment to be here, but she did share some great opportunities on the west coast of Florida, which is her focus. She even has some hotels for sale right now. So I'll let Josh say hi quickly, and he's going to be running one of the breakout rooms together with Carolyn as well. So Josh, please.
Absolutely. Lauren, first of all, thank you for the introduction, and I am very happy to be here. I am a master plumber from Canada, but you know, how we ended up here was the past couple of years have definitely changed everyone's perspective on life. And one thing we knew was that maybe we should start again. I was very happy in Canada what I was doing, but I definitely felt like I wanted to try something different. And when we initially had come to Florida, we didn't know if we were staying on a vacation or what was happening. And we just saw so much opportunity here, but we didn't know how to take advantage of it. I met Lauren because as a Canadian, I had driven across the border. I didn't have status. I couldn't do a change of status to buy into a business, and I had to leave the country. So we took a vacation from our vacation. And while we were in Mexico, we came across SREI. I don't know if I was the first client, but I was definitely one of the first clients for SREI. And it just changed my perspective from
Don't worry, we'll tell you guys what SREI is a little more, so. All these acronyms can be a little overwhelming, just like all the letters
Apologies,
with the
yeah.
media, but we will.
But it changed my perspective from owning a business in Florida in order to invest in real estate to owning a business that invests in real estate in Florida. So really maximized my efforts as to what I was trying to do. And because of that, it completely changed the way that we live. Me and my family could not be happier with the process. I love what I'm doing, and I'm able to utilize my skills as a master plumber, as a contractor here when looking at houses here in Florida, which if anyone else is in construction, they're a lot easier to renovate here as single family homes on one floor rather than the homes that I'm used to in Toronto. Yeah.
Right, that's very true, which is what I'm looking for, one story. People in, like, I grew up in a bungalow and it was small, and here, a bungalow, which is called a ranch style house, is completely different. Like, they can be spread over like a huge piece of land, so it's just a completely different lifestyle and mindset in real estate market. I'm going to now introduce Miles Kulik, and Miles I met a year ago, almost to the day again, in Toronto, when he, like, I think it was 2 weeks after you joined Lendi, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and I met him because I ran with Michal an event in downtown Toronto, and it was our first live event that we had done, and we had to limit the number of people to 40, and it was really great. We had a lot of fun, and Miles had just joined and just gone to Israel, and came in and was, you know, thrown into the whole scope, and now he's working with a lot of our clients because so Michal is the business development side of Lendi in Canada, and Miles is more of the actual, you know, nitty gritty work and get stuff done, and his background is in the mortgage industry. So Miles, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I'm going to go make sure my son is at his bar mitzvah lesson, and I'll be right back. Okay, thank you.
Hey, awesome. Yeah, thanks, Lauren. Yeah, definitely was thrown into the wolves within just joining the organization. It was fantastic though. And I always love coming to Lauren's events. You know what I mean? I learned so much. I sit here and just listen. And I mean, the first time we met, I sat there in awe of what's going on. And it was a new introduction to me of what's going on in the US with Canadians, especially. And Lauren, it was an amazing event and the whole introduction to the US investment strategy. So with us, Lendi. So Lendi is a fintech organization. Our head office is in Miami. I run, so as Lauren mentioned, I run the clients, all Canadians. So any Canadian interested in financing for their investment property in the US that contacts Lendi, they're going to come through me. McCall runs our partners, and that's who works with Lauren and others to develop client base for us. But a little about Lendi. So we're a direct lender. We're a tech-based lender. So everything that someone interacts with us will be through what we call a portal. It's customized for that individual, which is kind of unique for the process, because a lot of times when I run across a client who's maybe dealt with somebody else, it's all about sending an email, fax. I mean, some people are still faxing documents to wherever. So all of our documents and every interaction is done through our portal, which clients are really enjoying. A couple of key things I always say to everybody, like a 30-second kind of elevator speech when I'm meeting someone, what is Lendi all about? So here's 3 things you have to remember about Lendi, who the client type is. It's a foreign investor. So our foreign investors are scattered all over the world. I work with only Canadians, but we have people scattered throughout Europe, UK. We're now working with doing some work in Australia quite a bit now, India, and we just opened up South America. So we're now working with, and we're hiring a whole team to handle particularly South Americans, because one of our secret things, secret sauce we call it with Lendi, is we have people in every country or from the country that's working with that foreign national. So I'm a Canadian. I live in Fonthill. I saw someone from Port Colborne. They'll know what Fonthill is. And that's really what we do. That's part of our whole secret sauce. The second thing, it's only investment properties, and Lauren and I were talking about it earlier. She has other partners. If it's not an investment property, it's not for us, but she has other partners definitely that can handle a different type of property. And the last thing is it's got to be owned through a U.S. business entity. So again, if it's not a U.S. business entity, that's totally cool. Lauren has that referral for you. Those are the three things when we look at our client type, right? Foreign national, business owned by a business entity, and it's an investment property. Those are the three things that are really structured.
Non-owner occupied investment properties.
Yeah, so it's always investment. We just launched though a lot of STRs, Lauren. So we've got that now about a month under our belt, which we're getting a ton of attraction. You know, someone was telling me Florida's down a bit. I mean, we're up 30% in attraction right now, just in the last 3 or 4 weeks. With calls and contacts. So it's a fantastic thing. So last couple of things, I know we've got so much time here. So key thing for us, really secret sauce for us, is we have people from your home country. So if, no matter where they are, if we work with them, there's going to be someone from their home country helping them, which is a really big plus. I know Canadians love it when they pick up the phone and speak to me. We can talk T1 general, we can talk notice of assessment, we can talk various documents that are very familiar to Canadians that may not be familiar to somebody else. The second thing is our liquidity, which is a big thing in the US lending model. Our liquidity can be domiciled in their home country. So they do not have to transfer that liquidity to the US. We can verify from their home country. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a full online process. Okay, so we try to manage that through the online portal because of security, ease of use, 24 hours a day. You know, a lot of things can happen when people are working based on their schedule. A couple of our little pluses about benefits. You know, we really try to, the big model is cash out to go buy more property. And that's really what we love to do. That's one of our big strengths, is taking equity from existing homes and then using that equity as down payment to go buy something else.
Miles, I'm so sorry. I got to cut you off because otherwise we're never going to get through this.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm excited. You got me excited, Lauren. Thank you.
I got it. I got it. So their rates fluctuate, Florencia, and Miles will be running one of the rooms. So he'll be talking with you about that if you'd like to go into his room. So without further ado, we'll get started on some of the slides that are actually like a little more about what we do and about what our partners are providing. Where there's a will, there's a way. That is really our motto. So who am I? I'm a cross-border attorney and expert. I'm a licensed realtor. I'm the chair of the EXP International Investment Committee. I'm an immigration concierge and quarterback, which is a little different than just being an attorney. And for those of you that work with me, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm a best-selling author, a franchise broker. I've been featured across international media all over the world and spoken internationally as well. A keynote speaker, activist, and philanthropist. And I'm a mom to my preteen son, who is right now doing his bar mitzvah lesson because he has 2 days off school. So if you hear some Hebrew singing in the background, that's what that is. He'll be very embarrassed if you tell him that you heard it. He'll probably kill me. And I have 2 dogs as well. So that is us. We live here in South Florida and have lived here now for, well, I've lived here now for 22 years as of February last month. Okay. This is about a little more about me. I live in sunny Florida, operate a 7-figure business. I have secured my worldwide assets thanks to our asset protection attorney team, which those of you who have worked with me or are working with me know they're amazing, and we'll continue to work with them literally forever till they give up on us. I've achieved location and financial freedom and get to travel freely, although I take my laptop with me everywhere I go, and I'm okay with that. It's really not a problem for me. These are a couple of recent testimonials. Some of you may know Adele De Giosia. I'm not sure if Adele is here, but Adele is a significant real estate investor, and she has become a dear friend. I actually stayed with her at the Key Spire event in Niagara in October of last year. As we get ready to close, which they closed on their first US properties, we can't help but think of you. It takes a village. It's true in so many areas. You brought all the pieces of the complex puzzle together without missing a beat. And Heather Dimmick, who was our second SREI, strategic REI client that received her visa like 2 or 3, I guess 3 weeks ago. And oh my goodness, she was very nervous before going in. Lauren's team helped me build every aspect of my business model, set me up with the lawyers, accountants, my whole dream team. They assisted with all aspects of my company structure and setup, which saved me from double taxation and protected me from liability. Lauren set me up with Carolyn and Strategic REI, which in turn helped me to purchase properties in the US through Lauren's realtor partners, which has been beneficial for me in terms of the process, leading me to getting my visa in 5 minutes flat. Okay, so pretty proud of that. This slide is available as a download on our resources page, which hopefully Victoria will share with you. If not, it will be shared with you in the follow-up emails. 10 steps to successful US real estate investing. I'm just going to make a note to myself here. Sorry about that. And if you follow these 10 steps, we're going to go through them in some detail, then you'll have a successful path to US real estate investing. Unlike what Carolyn did, which was not follow these 10 steps because she didn't know about them. They were just leading her on how to follow steps if you were in America as an American investing in US real estate, but she wasn't, and she isn't. And so unfortunately, she lost her opportunities and a lot of money in the process. So we don't want you to do that. Additionally, before I continue, and I'm going to just stop for a moment, I wanted to introduce my realtor partners that are on the call. So first of all, I'm gonna, because in order of who I see, and I'm not going to see everybody, but I see Jen. Jen, you want to say hi and tell us where you're from? Well, the reality is that Jen and I really connected because she is, like me, also has a connection to Toronto. So I'll let you just say hi quickly, Jen.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I should be wearing my Maple Leafs shirt. Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks so much, Lauren, for having me here today. My name is Jennifer Goodman. I am a realtor who started their career in Toronto and then got plucked to come start a brokerage down in Austin. I have been down in Austin for a little over 7 years. It's my second stint living here, with most of my life, actually 37 of my years spent in Toronto. And Austin is an incredible city. We rarely have to shovel snow, and it's a land I for those of you who saw earlier, I mean, I've been driving and hill country. Austin is a jewel in Texas. It is filled with hills and lakes and opportunities, and we have more people coming than we certainly do property. So there's a lot going on, and ultimately, like anything and everything, forming your team is first and foremost before you go out and buy, and understanding your strategies. So I'm excited to be here with Lauren and Carolyn and Miles and the team to help you strategically gather the information you need before going forward so that we can help hit your target. So thanks for having me, Lauren.
Thank you, Jen. Doug, I don't see Kevin on the screen. Can you guys open your mics and just say hi?
Yeah, sure. I think Kevin's on here somewhere, but yeah, my name is Doug Sullivan. I am a business broker and certified exit planning advisor. I'm in Sarasota, Florida. My background is I've owned restaurants. I was with Outback Steakhouse when they started, part of a joint venture group. We opened 22 locations. I sold that and then started another company called Stonewood Grill. I opened up 18 of those, and then another brand called Peach Valley Cafe, and I sold those, and then started getting into commercial real estate, and then evolved from commercial real estate. Because in the state of Florida, you have to have a real estate license to be a business broker. And a lot of people were coming to me to buy or sell restaurants on their behalf. And then I got into business brokerage and exit planning. I right now do a lot of manufacturing. I'm a member of the state of Florida Manufacturing and Supply Chain Council. I'm a member of several of the what we call RMAs in Florida, the regional manufacturing associations. And so that's really what I do is exit planning, which is an advisory service, consulting, and business brokerage or M&A advisory. And
Kevin, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Hi, I see you with the green in the background now. I just can't see your name, sorry.
So as Doug
But Kevin, wait, before you say it, I just wanted to tell them about this miracle that you performed. I was telling my team. So I have a client that bought into a franchise, and they were going to move their franchise plan from Tampa to South Florida because they could not find the proper commercial lease. Now, when did I introduce you to them? A week ago?
Yeah.
A week, and they're signing, or they just signed today. Like a week. It took 3 months. They couldn't get the right opportunity, and they were ready to give up on the Tampa area. And then I brought Kevin in, who's partners with Doug on the business broker side, and they're signing a lease. So miracles do happen, right, Josh?
Yes, they do. So
yeah.
I had to leverage EXP's platform to put together a team of commercial realtors to handle Doug's book of business now that he's transitioning more into the consulting and the SEPA exit planning role. So that's my role here in Florida, and we have agents all across the state. So if you guys need anything anywhere in the state of Florida, we have a team in place that can help you from start to finish.
Thank you. And always go through us to get to them so that we can make sure that everything is managed and your interests are protected. So Sherry Lopez is in Tucson, Arizona. Sherry, you want to say hi briefly, please?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. I'm here in Tucson. I work with commercial investors and all different kinds of investors for short-term rentals and just regular real estate here. Tucson is beautiful, just like Austin, I just have to say. We have saguaros, they have other hills, but and I enjoy working with Lauren and all her investors. So just
Thank you,
let
Sherry.
Lauren know and hit me up.
Thank you. I know that Catherine is here. Catherine Smiley, want to say hi?
Yep. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I have my,
Yes.
okay, great. So I am a realtor with EXP here in Ontario and became a broker down in Florida last year. So started to grow my business there and recently connected with Lauren and her team. So I'm really looking forward to being helping Canadians invest, well, not only in Ontario, but obviously down in Florida. Looks like I should be able to secure my own dwelling there this year, and then look forward to ramping up and building my own portfolio. So helping myself, helping the rest of the community as well. So looking forward to working with everyone.
Thank you, Catherine. Is there anybody that I missed? Realtor partners of ours? No? If I did, put your info in the chat, then I'll make sure to look after it, okay? So thank you. So now we'll go back to the 10 steps to successful US real estate investing. The first step, as is the case with pretty much anybody, and I don't know why I can't see myself here. Oh no. The first step is always planning, and way too many people just run before they walk, but you have to consult with your cross-border lawyer and CPA to guide and set up the entities. Don't do this alone. You will end up having egg on your face and having to redo it. Sorry, Carolyn, it does happen because, you know, not everybody knows me or Carolyn. And now she knows exactly what to do. Defining your territory is super important. You don't need to figure this out on your own. We will help you depending on what you want to invest in, what your goals are, whether you just want to invest in real estate or maybe eventually get a visa. Secure a virtual address will help you with that as well, and consult with realtors and lawyers in the chosen state, which we will refer to you. Relying on protecting your assets, relying on professional legal guidance, obtain a tax ID, which is essential to running your business, and opening a bank account, which is number 7, and then ensure appropriate documentation. Now, one thing to remember, and a lot of people have this wrong, and Miles will tell you with Lendi that they require this. Just setting up a limited liability company or a limited partnership or a corp or whatever and filing articles with the state means absolutely nothing. Additionally, if you set up an LLC and you're Canadian, you may as well have not bothered to do anything because it's a disregarded entity without something in the middle. So you need the documents, the bylaws, the shareholders agreement, the operating agreement, whatever the case may be, depending on the type of entity. And we provide all of that documentation. Without that documentation, you really don't have a company. You have something, but it's not much. Securing appropriate financing for your investments, how much, what percentage, and so on, and also creating joint venture relationships and partnerships, and then finding the professional realtors to help you find the properties or potentially off-market opportunities as well, and connecting with wholesalers. Some important considerations are it's important to set up the right structure to avoid double taxation and ensure that you have the right legal protection. Anyone can invest in US real estate, but that doesn't mean it's one size fits all. And without the right structure, you will end up paying double tax and struggling through the process. There was a client, actually one of the first clients that I met through Carolyn's event, Empowered Women of Real Estate, way back when we first connected. And I had a consult with him. Carolyn, I don't even know if I ever told you this, but he told me that he just got a tax bill for $100,000. And he was investing personally in these or through something he set up on his own. And he said, I don't care, it's okay, I'm still making money. I go, but why wouldn't you spend 10, 15,000 to set up your structure and keep that 100,000? I mean, it's penny wise and pound foolish, but a lot of people do it. You will be able to access US credit and the benefits offered by 1031 exchange, which I'll talk about in a moment, if you get a visa. So what is a 1031 exchange? Many of you may have heard of this. Certainly our commercial brokers in the room do this a lot. It's transferring your investment to a like-in-kind investment and delaying or deferring capital gains because as long as you meet these criteria, you identify the qualified intermediary, you list the relinquished property, you sell the relinquished property, you identify a replacement property, and you receive the replacement property within 180 days. As a matter of fact, when I sold my house last June or July, I sold it to somebody who was doing a 1031 exchange. So it was an easy transaction. It was cash and it was, he wasn't moving in, he was using it as an investment. So, and now that I know how much he is getting from rent, I think to myself, I should have kept that house. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Regret is hindsight is 2020, isn't it? One of the first things I did in the real estate realm in terms of the visas was create 10 steps to immigrate to real estate, which really put me on the map in terms of building the real estate model toward a visa, and which is what helped me and Carolyn and I to collaborate and build this strategic REI, which I'll talk about in a moment. This slide is also available as a download on our resources page, and I saw that Victoria shared that link with you guys. Rebecca, all the first 8 of these are relevant whether or not you're getting a visa. It's only 9 and 10, the filing of the petition and the visa success, that have any real bearing on the visa. So 1 through 8, you need to follow just like those 10 steps to successful US real estate investing. Our ideal option is obviously going to be strategic REI, which is our business in a box solution for real estate investors seeking visas, and as of a few weeks ago, also for those just seeking to invest in US real estate. The guidance and amazing strategy and strategic insight that Carolyn and I, but specifically Carolyn and our team on the ground, bring to the table. It's really everything that you need to build a successful US real estate investment portfolio, whether you want a visa or not. Now, the beauty of it is that we're always going to have a view to a visa because a lot of people do change their minds midstream. We set up the structure with the only thing that's cookie cutter is the structure, because now we have a structure that works. But everything else is custom built. Now, that doesn't mean the structure is going to be the same for everybody, because many of our clients, like our last one that got a visa, I think she set up already 7 entities because she is a significant real estate investor. She had 120 doors in Canada, and now she's going to be building much the same model here in the US. So she has multiple entities, and we generally have a 4-entity structure if there's a visa and a 3-entity structure if there's not. Okay, so there's going to be a breakout room to discuss this. As Josh mentioned, he and his wife received their visa through this model. It allows you as a real estate investor to build a business that can lead to a visa if you so choose, but also helps you with the guidance and information that you need, because Carolyn's background is in creative financing, subject to which are agreements for sale in Canada. And that allows a lot more flexibility. And let me tell you something, that based on what's going on in the US right now, bank closures, I mean, the Signature Bank was the biggest bank in the EB5 space. They used to fund all of the green card financing, and it's huge what's going on here. So the market is going to be impacted by that, and there are going to be opportunities. So you need to be poised and ready to take advantage of them, right, Jason? So Jason, can I share your story, or can you share your story real quick about what you just did for your kids? Jason, are you there? I know I saw it. All right, I don't want to share.
No, I'm
okay,
there.
There you are.
Just trying to find my my window. We just started recently investing in the US, and the first thing we did was go to a tax deed auction in Florida. And I wanted to get my kids involved in understanding how investing works, so we had them buy some properties down in the Punta Gorda area from the tax deed auction. So each of them got a property. We're working with Lauren's legal counsel to put up the right structure around that to make it work. And the idea will be to keep investing, having them learn how to do that investment, maybe flip some of them, maybe build on some of them, see how it goes.
Thank you. So what I liked about Jason's approach was that it was out of the norm and it was for his kids. So he's helping to build them for future wealth and future success. So that's great. I wanted to feature a business. I don't know if Zale is here, but Carolyn and I, well, actually through my brother, Brad Cohen, not to be confused with the Brad who's on the call, Brad Cohen, who does not use an iPhone, just saying. Anyway, Brad connected me with a gentleman whose name is Zale Tabakman, who has a company called Local Salads, locally grown salads. And basically it's an indoor farming business model. Victoria, for some reason, I see that the picture came off of here. Maybe you could grab it and send it to us or put it on the screen, because the picture of the indoor farming is not here, of the amazing vertical farming. And I heard about this and I was so excited, and I brought it to Carolyn, and we're now, Carolyn, you want to share what's happening with this? Because it's an amazing model. And by the way, this can work for a visa. So that's what I jumped at, but Carolyn jumped at it on so many other levels because she's all about sustainable opportunities. And coming from Calgary, where you're not going to have available food year round, this is a great option. So Carolyn, just maybe a few words, if you would.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I've done so much research on vertical farming. There's a couple other companies that we're partnered with for the projects that we're doing through Cardia. But when I met Zale and learned about their technology, and also the biggest thing for me is how turnkey and supportive they are in somebody being able to take any of these farms and turn them into a profitable business. I knew it would be a perfect fit for the projects that we're doing at Cardia. So I actually connected them right away with our strategic partners on the ground in different places, like in Jamaica, partners that we're working with in the US on other projects. And excuse me, and as a byproduct, Zale was actually having opportunities come to him of farms that could be taken over and turned into these profitable vertical farms. So now Cardia as a whole, we're looking to partner with Zale to be able to invest in vertical farming projects throughout the US and Canada. Because as I mentioned at the beginning, food sustainability is a huge mandate for what we do at Cardia. So not only have we tapped into what he's doing at Cardia, but as Lauren said here, we see it as a massive business opportunity for people that are wanting to get their visa through vertical farm business. So it's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we have a couple other opportunities too. One is in the boat industry. It's kind of cool. So
yes,
it's not just about hard, tangible real estate. There's other options that come into our model that we build out for you. So let's talk a little about currency exchange. People are always afraid, or often afraid, well, what about why, it's going to cost me so much to get into my first property. But then people like Mike Wolf will always say, right, but then when you realize your returns are going to be in US dollars, so everything is relative. The average prices and cap rates in Canada is approximately 40% higher than in the US. Cap rates in Ontario range from 3 to 4, whereas in the US and Florida specifically, it's 8 to 9, which is a big difference. Some hot markets we're going to go through real briefly are Central Florida, which obviously is the Orlando area, where it's a huge boon for tourists and theme parks. And these are just a couple of options in the Orlando area. In Davenport, not specifically Champions Gate, which is where some of our clients have invested, but there's also Solterra and Azul and so on. But for $500,000, you can get a five bedroom, 4 bath house, and for $400,000, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house as well, both single family. Sorry to go through this quickly, but I want to get on to the breakout rooms. Southwest Florida, this is Sandra Schlaupitz is our partner there. Booming real estate market, favorable tax environment, warm climate, as Josh and Alana know, and it's a lovely place to live. It's really beautiful on the west coast. The sand is much nicer than on the east coast. You can buy these properties for $742,000. It's a multi-unit property, as you can see, multiple units for two bedroom, 2 bath. It looks like 4 units, I believe. And this duplex for $400,000 in Cape Coral. Cape Coral is called the Miami of the West Coast. I love Cape Coral. There's tons of Finger Lakes. It's beautiful. Southeast Florida, that's me. And we have many partners here as well. So Southeast Florida's a couple of options. This is a duplex in Hollywood, Florida, 600,000. There's great returns on your investment in Hollywood and Lake Worth. There's tons of amazing multifamily. And in Delray Beach, which is one city north of me, it's a great town and people may have heard of it. It's happening, very active, very fun. 400,000, a single family home that could rent for a nice profit. In Arizona, which is a favorable tax environment to afford more affordable housing than here, certainly in a booming economy. Thank you, Sherry, for these two opportunities. For under 500,000, you can access either of these. And look at the difference you see in the desert on the orange colored or orange themed home on my right. It's completely different than in Florida, where you're going to see, grass and sand, and there you see like a lot of clay, which reminds me, by the way, of the baseball field that I'm on all the time. Well, I'm not on it, I go near the field. Texas, thanks to Jen, growing tourism, business friendly. Austin, I've never been there yet, or I haven't been there yet, but I will be. And it's definitely a booming city. It's one of the places a lot of people started moving during and after COVID because of the opportunities afforded there. It's a happening city, it's a music city, and there's a lot of activity going on. So here are two opportunities in Austin. One is 600,000 in little Round Rock, Texas. I'm not sure, I guess that's an outskirts. And then you have for 407,000, this opportunity for a 3-2 in Austin. Why do you want or need a visa? Real quick, you're going to obtain a social security number, build credit, and access financing. Have the freedom to go back and forth freely, be able to send your kids to school, and work options for your spouse, right, Josh? Understanding why you need or want a visa, again, ability to build your business and invest freely, freedom to establish strategic relationships, avoid paying high taxes, potentially build a business to access an eventual green card, and also qualify for 1031, as we discussed. This is alphabet soup, all about the different business visas that we focus on. Our main focuses are E2, which is a treaty investor visa based on investment, E1 treaty trader visa based on trade. A lot of people that do a lot of trade shows in the US use this visa. EB5 is a green card based visa, which is now 800,000 to invest in. It can invest passively or actively, and a lot of times we start with an E2 and build out to an EB5. How can you do it? Well, you have options. You can do it alone, or you can do it with our help. And if you try to do it alone, you're going to end up with a lot of paperwork, wasting money, time, and a lack of options. And your investment could be at risk. You could be deported. You could lose your business or investments, maybe unable to manage them. To visit them, you could lose out on potential deals, and you'll have limited options. With our help, success is surely in your future. Here's a couple of additional, or not additional, but a couple of amazing testimonials from Denise Evans. Our recent $1 million property acquisition in Florida was so much easier with Lauren's knowledgeable team advising and executing. Carolyn, can you read this for me, please?
Yes. Our recent $1 million property acquisition in Florida was so much easier than with Lauren's knowledgeable team advising and executing on asset protection and structure. Lauren, you went above and beyond to the extent of calling me from Israel within a few minutes of my text and call when we hit a snag that was almost the last straw. You handled the issue with ease and reassured us throughout the process. Your personal hands-on approach is very much appreciated. Next stop, we will be working with you to investigate US visa. Thank you. Investigate US visa options. And then Mike Wolf, who is the investor friend that Lauren and I met through. As a real estate investor and mentor, Lauren is a valuable part of my team. If you're considering investing in the US, it's important to understand taxation and asset protection, or you could get yourself in trouble. And Lauren advises on so many of these critical factors. Lauren is extremely good at what she does. She's helped me and my clients, and she can help you too.
So we're going to go through your next step. Basically, it's to set up a consult with us. And here is the link, which we will be sharing in each of the breakout rooms. But right now, I'm going to allow Victoria to start the breakout rooms. And again, we have, I think we have a breakout room with Miles, who's running a breakout room about about financing and lending. Carolyn and Josh are running a breakout room about strategic real estate investing in business and creative financing. And Mike and Leanne are running a breakout room about short-term rentals. You can stay in the main room if you want to talk about visas and general structure, but that is what's happening right now. I'm going to turn it over to Victoria and I'll be back in just one quick moment.